I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a maze, and love is a riddle. I don't know where to go. Can't do it alone. I've tried, but I don't know why. Hi,
Hello.
hey.
Wow, that was
Well, I
wonderful.
heard there's a campaign called the Media Challengers,
Yes.
and I'm preparing for the next year because I think I've
Next year.
already missed this year. Yeah, I'm
This is
still
great.
practicing.
I feel
Yeah.
like already we're on the beach in Hawaii. There's a nice breeze. You have long hair. And do it again, please. Show us.
Well,
Yeah.
not very good though.
Can I try?
Yeah,
Show
sure.
me.
Yeah.
I used to play a little bit, but I forgot totally. So tell me where to press here.
Okay. So
Yeah.
first this one,
Yeah. Okay. And what do I
and
do with it?
trying to like this.
Okay.
Okay, and then slide the hole.
Okay. Ah! And then?
Yes, and then it's kind of like this,
Okay.
kind of
Oh,
difficult.
I see. I see, like this.
Yes,
Okay. And then you do the same thing.
yes, and then
And then?
easy one. This one.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. This too.
Okay.
Dun, same. Dun, 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 dun. And go back to C. Dun, 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 dun.
I have a bit of a talent.
Yes,
Maybe I can
you're
try it after
talented.
next year. Let me do it again. The second one was this?
Yes, and first
Oh,
one.
oh. First one
First one,
here, second
so
one here,
here.
third one here.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
And
This one. Dun, 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 dun.
then we go back to C.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It brings back
You're
a
another
lot of
talent.
nice memory. I think I'll pick it up again.
Okay,
So
but
nice.
I have a question.
Mm.
So
What is it?
for this year, we have a lot of participants.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of participant do you think can stand out?
Oh, kind of definitely the one with the most brilliant talent and the big smile.
Big smile. I think
Yeah,
that's important.
yeah, because there's a lot of bad news, a lot of depressing news. So if someone can bring happiness to the people, I think that is very important.
Optimistic.
Optimistic,
Participant.
yes, optimistic.
Okay,
Always
optimistic.
very positive and looking forward to the future, being hopeful. I think that's very important.
Okay, but also we're looking for reporters, presenters, and you are a reporter presenter. So what kind of like experience do you have?
Oof, what I have experienced. Well, I would say think in life, think among the people, really go on the ground, be among the people, see how they live, how they interact with each other, and then take that and put that in your work.
Okay, so kind of.
Does that sound philosophic?
Yeah,
A little bit,
bit.
but I truly believe in that. Actually, you have to be connected with ordinary people in order to be able to relate to them in your job. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think
Okay.
that's harder than practicing this.
No, you just have to live. You just have to be there for them. You just have to, be a real person. I think that is the key.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
I'll leave and good luck with the show.
Good luck with the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep practicing.
Okay.
I want to see
thank
you next year
Yeah, next
in the
year.
talent competition.
See you next
All
year.
right.
Bye bye.
We get ready. Welcome to Headline Buster, brought to you by The Point with me, Liu Xin. In this episode, we dissect stories that are making headlines around the world and talk to our guests to compensate for the missing pieces of the puzzle. So join me in real time by sending us your comments or questions via the CGTN page on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or Weibo. If you're watching this live on the CGTN application, email me at thepointwithlx@cgtn.com. Let me know what you think. We air the Headline Buster segment on Fridays at 11 a.m. Beijing time. So do get in touch and we just might read out your comments.
It's time to run, it's time to fly, it's time to soar high above the clouds. No matter, you're gonna hear the cheer from the crowd.
Today, we are looking at a topic that's close to home. CGTN, this network's Media Challenges campaign. What is it? What does it want to achieve? And how is it being covered by some media? I'm not personally involved in the organization of the event, despite making a cameo appearance in the Media Challenges theme song's music video. So I went to take a look at the registration link for the event, and here's what I found out. Launched in April of this year, the campaign invites potential participants to join us on the front lines and share stories that move the world. It says, whether you're a foodie, techie, makeup guru, sports fanatic, or something else entirely, we want to see your talents. Aspiring reporters, presenters, podcasters, and social media influencers are invited to apply. Applicants have to submit a video of up to 3 minutes that first features an introduction, second highlights their storytelling, editing, and presenting skills, and third showcases their passion and specialities. Now, some may ask, what will shortlisted participants get? Well, first, the chance to win a top prize of $10,000. Not too shabby, right? Second, the opportunity to receive professional multimedia training, and on top of all those, the offer to work as a full-time or part-time CGTN storyteller. As CGTN has its headquarters in Beijing and regional production centers in Washington, D.C., London, and Nairobi, I guess the top winners will have the choice as to where they want to go, depending on where they come from. Very exciting, right? There's still time to apply if you're interested. I just found out the winners will be announced in September. So how has this campaign been viewed in some international media? We found that some British media seemed particularly interested in the topic. Now, the UK-based Times recently published an article on the campaign calling out CGTN for enlisting UK student influencers. It says CGTN has been targeting British university campuses and offering students the chance to win thousands of pounds to become pro-Beijing social media influencers, the Times can review. Now let's pause and break that down. Is CGTN enlisting anyone? People are invited to apply. End of story. If they don't feel like participating, they're under zero pressure to apply. Secondly, the campaign is not targeting anyone from any specific country. As you can tell from the ad, it's open for anyone, anywhere, so long as they're 18 years old or above and comply with relevant rules and regulations. Thirdly, nowhere in the campaign that I can see are people asked to be pro-Beijing influencers. The program is about sharing stories that move the world through culture, music, and food. No politics involved. You know, like King Midas and his golden touch, it seems some people think anything CGTN touches becomes particularly charged. Now, the article then focused on some British YouTubers who live in China and make posts about their impressions of life here based on their own experiences. They are mentioned simply because one of the Media Challenges participants, a Chinese student at a British university, says she's a huge fan of them. Now, these same British YouTubers were accused in another Times article in January of this year of being funded by Beijing to spread its influence. We previously invited these YouTubers on our show and they completely debunked such claims. So, as the saying goes, in order to hang a dog, give it a bad name, and to all those who show sympathy. That seems to be the logic of the latest Times article. Now, having gone through the whole article, there is one point that becomes very clear. Now, the paper's reporter has made up his mind about the Chinese political system and its official media. It's bad, so anyone who appreciates it must have been bought off or brainwashed. That probably explains why the article is loaded with comments from people critical of China. And the article seems not to worry about being balanced even in the most superficial ways. I looked up and down and could not find, first, any experts who's neutral, let alone positive, about CGTN and its Media Challenges campaign. Secondly, not a single quote from anyone directly involved in this event. The Times article includes a sentence saying CGTN, the British YouTubers and the relevant UK universities did not respond to requests for comment. It sounds as if he tried but failed to get the other side of the story. But is that really the case? No, because the Times reporter did approach at least one participant for comment, a British musician based in China by the name of Sean Gibson, and he got a reply in time. According to Sean, who posted the relevant content online, this was his comment.
In regards to CGTN's Media Challenges programme, this is a competition designed to attract and recruit new talent into the CGTN network. I think this is an innovative way to give young people all across China the opportunity to turn their hidden talents or unpursued dreams into a career. Rather than only hiring from within the entertainment industry, by casting the net far and wide, it can really change the lives of ordinary people. If the BBC offered this kind of opportunity, I would certainly grab it with both hands. I must make it absolutely clear, I have never been paid, asked or forced by any CGTN representative or member of any production team to say or do anything that was against my wishes or that could in any way be deemed untrue.
Strangely, Sean's case did not make the cut in the Times article, neither was his response. I wonder why. As a first-hand witness, wouldn't his testimony be relevant and more salient than those of the commentators? How about the Chinese student who was singled out? What did she have to say about the competition? Again, the Times reporter failed to tell us. Now, the British tabloid Daily Mail also jumped on the bandwagon with its own take on the story. CGTN recruits vloggers and students at British universities to become social media influencers, promoting and defending China and eliminating the biased Western lies. So again, a non-political talent competition that's open to all becomes a politically charged recruitment campaign targeting British universities. Whatever opinion one might have about CGTN, this is not the truth. Interestingly, Sean was also contacted by the paper to get his comments. Interestingly, again, neither Sean's case nor his reply made it into the article published online or on paper form. Last time we checked, this is the case. So Sean also posted his reply to the request from Daily Mail online.
Surely whether or not something can be considered propaganda is less important a question than whether or not it is the truth. I am only interested in speaking the truth, and more specifically, my own personal truth, based on my own personal experiences.
Now, in order to give the other side of this story, Headline Buster did reach out to the two media. The Times reporter did not reply to our email, and we didn't receive any substantive response from the Daily Mail in time for this show. Well, we have invited Sean to share his side of the story today on the show. I'll also get to talk to a personal trainer involved in the campaign to talk about what the event is really about. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay with us.
In a far-off land, on a mountain road, I met a man who held a heavy load. so kind, and his dreams were so bold. He took me into another world and showed me hundreds of boys and girls. No fathers and mothers beside them to care. He whispered a prayer, said I'll always be there. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody.
1, 2,
'Cause if we all need somebody,
4, 5, 6,
then they all
7,
need somebody.
8, 9, 10.
I met a woman in an orange grove. She walks for miles to where the river flows. A broken shelter she calls her home, and a million others live in the world that she knows. When times get hard, I'll be here for you. Your heart is broken, you're torn in two. But if we stand together and face life as one, there isn't a demon we can't overcome. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And if we all need somebody, then they all need somebody. When times get hard, I'll be here for you. Your heart is broken, you're torn in two. But if we stand together and face life as one, there isn't a demon we can't overcome. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And if we all need somebody, then they all need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And if we all need somebody, then they all need somebody. Everybody needs somebody.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says America does not.
I got this feeling inside, this feeling I can't deny. I want it, I'll chase it, I want it. Push my limits, I never quit. Keep dreaming, keep chasing, 'cause one day you're gonna shine. You're brave and true, stand with pride. Just that feeling inside. The world is your stage. Be ready for change. Keep going, just keep it going. Spread your wings, look up and see. It's time to run. It's time to fly. It's time to soar. High above the clouds. Don't matter. You're gonna hear the cheer from the crowd. It's time to run. Your time to fly. Your time to soar. inside. This feeling I can't deny. I want it, I'll chase it, I want it. Push my limits, I never quit. Keep dreaming, keep chasing. 'Cause one day you're gonna shine. You're brave and just and with pride. Just that feeling inside. The world is your stage. Be ready for a change. Keep going, just keep it going. Squeeze the wheel, come and sing. It's time to run. It's time to fly. It's time to soar. High above the clouds. Don't back down. You're gonna hear the cheer from the crowd. It's time to run. Your time to fly. Your time to soar. High above the clouds. Don't give up. You're gonna hear the cheer from the
Welcome back to this edition of Headline Buster. I'm Liu Xin, and sitting next to me is Sean Gibson. I mentioned the British musician who's based in China, who participates in Media Challenges campaign, and then Angela Fu, who is a personal trainer involved in the event. We'll ask her to explain her role in just a moment. And we're also joined online by our old friend, Brandon Blackburn Dwyer, joining us from the United States for his comment on this media story, on this media event, and the kind of attention it has generated in the UK. So, as I said, Sean, you participated in this talent competition, but you call yourself a musician who is born in Britain, made in China. Tell us a bit about that. What exactly does it mean?
Well, I first discovered Chinese culture and Chinese music when I was in Liverpool, because I met a lot of Chinese friends while I was there, and they took me to KTV to sing Chinese songs and introduced me to some TV shows and movies like Zhen Huangzhuan and Xi You Ji.
Okay.
And the more I heard about China through their stories, the more I wanted to come and see China for myself. So I came here about 7 years ago to just traveling around, having a look. And I was a musician kind of hungry for something new, hungry for an adventure, because at that time I realized that a lot of music was being influenced by America and blues culture, jazz culture, these kind of cultures from the past. So things sort of kept recycling in my mind, and I thought, I want something new. I want to find a new sound, something different. And while I was traveling in China, I found pipa for the first time, being played in a shopping center.
It's a Chinese guitar. What would you, how would you pipa to describe it?
I think maybe a lute, a lute kind of instrument.
Okay.
I love pipa. It's so flexible. I love playing with sounds.
You know,
Anyway, yeah. So that was the first time I heard pipa played in a modern context, because previously I just heard it being used as part of some presentations to explore Chinese culture. You know, pipa is 1,000 years old. This hanfu is 1,000 years old. Everything is like ancient history, but there was no connection with modern Chinese culture. So when I realized that for the first time, I thought, wow, that is so fascinating. And I just want to somehow incorporate that into the music that I create myself.
But as we could see during the break, especially, that you actually were part of a CGTN program to report in southern China in Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, where you talked to a ethnic group called Maonan. What's the connection between you and CGTN? How did that start?
Well, because I have a vlog series online where I explore new places, go to find new cultures and mostly new instruments. That's what I'm very interested in. And CGTN approached me because of that vlog series and just asked, would I be interested? They're organising a program to go to Maonan Autonomous Region. Would I be interested in going and learning about the Maonan culture? And they made it clear to me at the start that they don't want it to be political in nature. It will be used for political propaganda. I'm not an idiot. You know, it's about poverty alleviation.
Yeah.
It's talking about those topics, and I think those topics are important to share with the people. But I said, as long as I can go there freely, report exactly what I see for myself,
Yeah.
and also not be forced into saying anything that I don't want to say, and have access to the raw footage so that I can make my vlog series.
Okay.
These were my terms and conditions, if you like.
Yeah. How did it turn out? How did the experience turn out?
It was amazing. It was really amazing. It's so humbling to go to that kind of place. The work that the people are doing there is absolutely astonishing. The sacrifices that people are making.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch the documentary for yourself to find out, but it was really a life-changing experience for me. I was shocked by what I saw.
Yeah, well, just on a personal note, I actually went to exactly the same region just a few weeks ago, and I understand exactly what you mean by the kind of sacrifice that's put in there. It's truly amazing. But coming back to the Media Challenges campaign, is that why you got interested, you know, in participating in this talent show? Is there any pressure, let's say, to say certain things or to be certain ways, or you are able to really do this according to your own free will and you know, just to show a talent?
No, I was put at gunpoint. I was put at gunpoint and forced
me, right?
to be on the singing a music video. No, of course not. I was invited by this lovely lady here because we met on the live stream of the Maonan program,
For
actually.
the promo of the Maonan series.
Yeah, and
That
she
was
asked
so much
me,
fun.
she just invited me to be part of Media Challenges. Would I be interested? It's going to be a campaign about, basically a global campaign to invite people to join and follow a career that they want to follow, rather than maybe feeling trapped in a career that they don't want to be in. It can give them the opportunity to have a job in the mainstream media industry.
Yeah, and while showcasing their talent as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Angela, help me understand, what exactly does a personal trainer do in this event?
Yeah, so I'm the Media Challenger personal trainer in quotation marks. So I'm basically the official kind of mascot. So we're there to guide the Media Challengers through this amazing journey.
What do you guide them to do? I mean, in what way do you guide them?
Yep, so for example, the Media Challenger is, we want to find the next media star. So whether you're a presenter or a journalist, or you want to become a social media influencer, we want to show them how you can go in, how you can get into the company, how you can get into this kind of career. Because for some people, maybe it's more of a mysterious occupation, because we don't know how we can start by putting ourselves in front of the camera. So me and Wang Guan is also the personal trainer for the Media Challenger. So we interview people like you. I think we did a quick rapid fire question, and just to really get the experience of what it's like to be one of these roles. So we've interviewed journalists, we've done rapid fire questions with presenters, and we've also interviewed a lot of influencers like Sean. And it's really just painting a whole picture for those people that wants to get in the profession, but things are holding them back. Like Sean said, maybe they're already in a different career, but maybe their dream is to be in front of the camera, to show their passion to the world. So we're really just there kind of guiding everyone through the process. So if they have questions, answering those questions, and just showing and trying to make it as transparent as we can to show that this is a fair competition.
In the end, if someone is not interested in working for CGTN, you know, will they still be able to enter into this competition?
Of course.
Possibly win a prize, or maybe in the end they have no interest in cooperating, you know, working with CGTN in the end.
Yeah.
Will they still be selected based on their merit, on their talent?
Of course, definitely. And that's why on our promo page, I think you can see it. It's out there online. There's a number of things you can win: the cash prize, the opportunity to train with professional journalists and presenters, and to have the opportunity to work as a freelancer, a part-time or a full-time presenter, journalist, or influencer with CGTN. And it's
If they choose to.
if they choose to. So then under no obligation, because
a lot of the work you can actually see from the initial selection process, they're already online. So we really just wanted to build a platform to kind of showcase all these potential star talents.
If someone comes with a very positive view about China, will they get extra credit? I mean, will they have some kind of edge over the others who are purely just, about art, about sport, about life?
Unfortunately, no. So during the first initial judging process, there's 4 main criteria we look at. One is their command of English, because obviously they have the opportunity to work with an English channel. And obviously CGTN is a multi-language channel, so we might actually open this competition up in the future for our French, Spanish, Russian, and Arabic channels. And the other is their charisma. You have to be a people's person because you're going to be on camera, whether it's on TV or on social media. So you have to have that personality. And then the originality of their work. So you can't be copying other influencers. And then their creativity. So these are kind of the 4 criteria we really want. So if you're a good storyteller, if you're creative, I mean, if you can have a story about a pimple, if that's interesting, then you can get in the next selection.
How can you be original and creative about a pimple?
Exactly,
it's
it's hard.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Is that why the name is called Media Challenges?
Exactly.
Okay.
They wrote a song about a pear and a pineapple, right? So maybe a pimple's next.
So you never know. So that's why we want, you can either be a makeup guru, a foodie, a techie, a sports, or a traveler, anything that you're interested in. We want to see those contents because especially nowadays in the media industry in general, we're faced with a lot of competition.
Yeah.
I mean, a few years ago, we were talking about millennials, and then it was the Gen Z, and now we're talking about how to engage the Alpha Gen. So we're under a lot
What
of
is that? What's the last word?
What?
Alpha generation. So
Oh
that's
gosh, I'm
next
turning into a dinosaur.
So these are like
Okay.
social savvy, social native generations and next generations. And for
I'm granny, generation granny. Okay,
us,
so
we're
I don't
under a lot
mind.
of
There,
pressure
you
to
can be
innovate as well.
You can be still an elegant generation granny, aren't you?
Of course.
let me go to our old friend, not old, our old friend Brandon. Brandon, yes. So you have a beard. You have to be very careful. You want to look young.
I agree. At this point, when we're talking about Generation Alpha, I do feel old as well. So I think that every day it's going to be something new.
Yeah, it's true, definitely. But Brendan, what is your take on this competition, on what it tries to achieve? Do you think the messages has been perceived objectively? Why the discrepancy, what we are talking about now and what is being described on some media, especially in the UK this time?
Complicated answer. Let's take that in pieces here. The competition itself, I think it's great. I think any time that we are looking at the ability for young people to gain exposure, to gain training, to gain a better understanding of how to transition from the world of informal social media to more formalized social media to more formalized mainstream media, that's wonderful. Media organizations around the world have been engaging in this for decades. In the United Kingdom, the country we're talking about right now, the BBC runs an annual competition called the Young Reporter Competition, which is about recognizing people 11 to 18 years old for different stories, and they have different ideas, and they're often about positive, uplifting stories. So at its face value, Media Challengers is and sounds great. And I think that it's a wonderful opportunity for many people. Now the other half of that question is, why are we hearing the discrepancy out of the United Kingdom? Because I think we need to separate what is a great idea and a great competition from what is the reaction, because reactions do not define what an item is or how it's being put out, but you have to understand how it's being perceived. First of all, the Daily Mail and the Times are wildly conservative, tabloid-based newspapers that take any story and bring it to the extreme. So whatever it is, you're never looking for nuance with these organizations. You're looking for what is the reaction multiplied by somebody yelling, is effectively the way to do. So when reading it, you kind of have to go, okay, they're yelling. Do they have a point? Maybe, maybe not, but they're yelling. So that's what they're doing. The point that they're concerned about, if we're going to try to take it at all seriously, is that CGTN is a national organization. It has, as part of its mission statement, is to, I think, improve and explain China to the rest of the world and create engagement. And when that's the mission statement of an organization and they're reaching out to influencers in other countries to develop them, there's a potential for concern. There's a potential for, particularly in the UK media market, where CGTN has had problems with the regulators with its national broadcasting, to then be going past that and into the social media and working with influencers on the ground. There are going to be people that are expressing concern. And I think the Daily Mail, the Times are doing that, again, multiplied by yelling and screaming and no understanding or nuance or no desire to have nuance. But that's where we're seeing that reaction.
I see. Good points. I think it's fair points that's been raised, Sean. How do you look at the kind of attention, particularly coming from the UK? And Brandon was right. You know, CGTN has been kind of a focus of attention, especially over the past few months. So how do you look at the attention that the UK media has had, particularly on this story, and the interest in you as someone, you know, from the UK but living in China, participating in this kind of what is perceived to be an influence campaign?
Well, to be honest, I found it a little bit confusing why they chose this particular program, because CGTN obviously has published a lot more politically orientated programs, much more politically orientated than Media Challenges. You know, I think Media Challenges can be compared more to X Factor or China's Got Talent, this kind of program. It's a recruitment drive to encourage young people to get involved in media. I don't see anything wrong with that. And especially coming after me, in a way, in the email that they sent to me, when my involvement was quite minimal, to be honest. I sang 2 lines in a music video. So to sort of put me in the firing line.
Have you tried to find the answer why, you know, they are so particularly sensitive, let's say?
I think, to be honest, I think especially tabloids, they have their own agenda. And I think tabloids, I mean, particularly the email that was addressed to me, was not really about me or about Media Challenges. It was just about their opinion of CGTN. And I think it's just a pity that I've been dragged into this, to be honest, because the work that I do is supposed to be about spreading positivity, spreading understanding, because I think only through understanding of different cultures can you ever find any common ground or any common interests. And I think that's what the world needs right now. You know, there are so many groups moving to promote division in the world that I think there need to be more people doing the opposite of that. You know, there needs to be a counter movement, as it were, to...
What do you think of the fact that they approached you, they asked you for your comment, but in the end, none of either your name or your case or your reply was reflected in the final piece, because you actually is a first-hand witness, right? You have direct knowledge about this event and your participation.
Well, I think that's just further evidence to support what I've just said, really. It wasn't about me or about Media Challenges. And the fact that I gave a statement, a very long statement that took me 3 hours to write, because I was trying to carefully word it to not, you know, I don't have a political persuasion. I'm really not interested in politics. That's why I'm a little bit surprised I end up finding myself on your program, to be honest. I never thought that would be possible.
I'm sorry.
No, it's nice to be invited. At least you've given me a voice, you know, rather than just assuming a bunch of information about me. It's nice to be actually asked. And I think I've forgotten what the question was now.
Doesn't matter. Nevertheless, as Brandon was talking about, you know, these maybe ultra-conservative papers, or they're just yelling. But what kind of effects do you think this episode has had or will have on you? And what do these kind of stories can possibly do on the mindset of readers in the UK who might not have the luxury to come and live in China and really see the country for themselves?
Well, my grandparents happen to read the Daily Mail every day. And although...
They haven't read about you this time, luckily.
No.
Or unluckily.
No. Well, they do watch my YouTube videos anyway, so at least they see the experience from my eyes. But they do read the Daily Mail, and they do see that as truth. You know, there are a lot of people who say that tabloids are only supposed to be opinion pieces. But to be honest, a lot of people do, in the UK especially, do get their news. They're only the only
Source of
window to the outside world is through tabloid newspapers. So I think these tabloids also have a responsibility to publish truth, not only forced perspective. You know, you can quite easily say, oh, this certain group of people are chopping down trees. But then they miss out the part that because the trees were already damaged due to a wildfire and they're trying to replant fresh trees in their place. You know,
Taking things out of context.
yeah, it's forced perspective and it's happening everywhere. And I think it's, to be honest, misinformation these days is like another pandemic in itself, because it promotes people who have very passionate views about something that they don't understand the full picture of. You know, people quite rightly are outraged by certain claims, but the question is whether those claims are justified or not. And people don't always have the level of education that they need to question the source.
No. That's what we try to do here a little bit, is to, you know, bring that out and discuss and give the other side of the information that's possibly missing. Angela, how do you look at the kind of general hostility, I would say, towards CGTN and whatever it does? It seems, especially in the UK, in my impression after reading the newspaper article is that they have already decided, they've already judged that CGTN is this, you know, whatever they say about it. So what it does is, you know, not to be trusted at all. Even a pure culture show, even a song aired on CGTN could be a politically charged song. How do you look at that, and what can be done about it in your eyes?
Exactly. I think it's just, as you mentioned, it's just very irresponsible and in some sense very dangerous as well. Because if these are the information that they're releasing to the people, especially when they're inaccurate or taken out of context. I mean, with the media challenges, they said that we were targeting UK students, but that is definitely not the case, because we already have entrants from, I think, from what I've seen, it's over 100 countries. So unfortunately, we're not targeting UK, but we're still welcoming UK entrants. We're welcoming entrants from everywhere around the world.
Even the word targeting is a little bit
And
dramatic,
the word
don't
of
you think?
targeting and listing, it's just basically they're painting you as the baddie, as someone that's already evil. There's putting
They have an agenda to,
exactly.
you know, to do a certain thing.
And they're not using neutral words and giving people the ability to maybe go online or giving them a link to see what you can find, because it's actually very easy. You being online, you've seen our promo, and it's all there, all out there, and we put entrance kind of video on there as well. So I just think it's very dangerous to kind of play these kind of games, and especially when they're putting kind of the photos of these students who are currently studying in the UK. They're really not really considering the consequences that could cause to these students or to these entrants. So I'm just really hoping that they won't take the spotlight or the limelight away from the media challengers, who's just literally showing their creativity, who wants to have a voice on a platform. And right now, that hasn't been the case, thank goodness. We've got a lot of entries still coming in, so it's a testament to say that it's a great campaign.
But still, the big question is there, the kind of conflict, right? What we try to do, what we think we are, versus what we are perceived to be, what we're perceived to be doing. So Brandon, I want to go to you once again, because this is a rather long-term issue, and I don't really see a way out at this moment. On the one hand, we here at CGTN, or we here in the Chinese media, we believe there is a need to bring what really happens about China from the Chinese people's perspective to the outside world, because we believe it has not been known fully. Whereas on the other hand, there is growing competition, growing confrontation, let's say, between different ideologies, and there is a growing perception of threat from China, either from China's physical strength, you know, power, economy, military strength, but also the attractiveness of Chinese ideas, of Chinese culture, of Chinese talent, Chinese art. So Brandon, how can we find a way to say this is going to be the way we're going to coexist and grow together in the future? I don't see it at this moment.
There's no simple answer on this. China is a rising power. It has more and more influence around the world. You know that. We see it every single day. CGTN is part of that vanguard. For better or worse, it's part of the presence that China is building. It's one of the major sources of information from China. one of the major sources of how China perceives the world. Our global media is a mix of voices. For me, when I'm being at my most optimistic, I love when there is as much diversity in those voices as possible. I understand that some channels are going to be state-run or corporate-run, are going to have slants in different ways. I know that the Daily Mail and the Times have been proudly conservative and have that on their masthead, that they have a specific perception. I know that the CGTN has a proud perception as, you know, we are from the Chinese perspective on the world. This is also, though, when we're not being as optimistic, we see problems with this around the world. We see problems of what the rise of conservative media in the United States has done to political discourse, that the isolation of people's news coming from smaller and smaller echo chambers can lead to massive disinformation. So there is no simple answer out of it. For me, as a person that believes in discourse, that believes in engagement, that has been lucky enough to live around the world and work in multimedia around the world, I believe the only way forward is to continue to discuss, to continue to invite that diversity in, to lay some standards that we all need to be trying to find facts and not just opinion, or at least label what is opinion in a paper. I mean, again, the Daily Mail at the Times, I don't want to just talk about them the whole time, but they generally tell you that we are opinion with some fact, not fact with some opinion, right? Like we as long as we label it, it will help us. But if we can come together, keep understanding that people are going to talk, people are going to have different perspectives, and we start training our public and starting with our children in education to decipher those messages and seek out a diversity of voices on issues, that's what's going to help. Is that a simple answer? Is that anything more than optimism? We don't know right now.
It's going to take quite some time, but it's going to take a lot of hard work on every one of us on this program.
Keep what we're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what we believe is right, what we believe is good for understanding between people. So coming back to something slightly lighter, Sean.
Yes.
We're going into the weekend.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, what's next? What other mixture of Chinese and modern music you're thinking of?
Well, I'm actually in the process of working on another song called Fangyan, which is a song, Fangyan.
Fangyan, dialect.
Yeah, dialect.
Okay.
It doesn't really work in English, does it? But it's basically a song about my experience of traveling all around China to these different local ethnic minorities, and realizing that even though I've learned Mandarin and my Mandarin's okay, it's not very useful. Yes. So it's kind of like a light-hearted story about that.
Great.
Yeah.
I love your shirts.
Thank you. It's actually inspired by the song because I'm going to be filming in Chongqing in a few weeks. Hot pots, yeah.
And also inside the Fulu show, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Chinese spirit, luckiness.
Chinese propaganda right here.
Exactly. We want you to prosper, to be lucky, and to thrive, basically.
Yes.
And the word in the middle, I don't even know how to translate into English. No. The one on the left is luckiness.
What does it say?
Emolument.
I don't know how to say that either in English.
It means lu, right? Chinese. See, it means if someone has become a high social status, either by becoming an official or some other means, you have
reached like the peak.
Reached a very high status, so you bring a lot of glory to your family.
So I wear this to give me inspiration.
And the last one is, of course, longevity. And that's the difficult part. I think the Chinese thought system, philosophy, traditional culture, it doesn't get automatically translated.
It's very difficult to translate, and that's why it's better to share it with people, to show them for themselves, not just talk all the time.
Yeah.
And even
at least that's what I try to do.
There's so many cultures around. I've seen work from like Sean, that places and things that I haven't even experienced in China. So I think people like Sean, who's really showcasing this to the world, is really important.
Let's keep on doing that, okay?
Yes.
And with a light heart, with a positivity, we go into the weekend.
Yep.
Many thanks to my guest, Sean Gibson and Angela Fu.
You.
And of course, many thanks to my old friend, Brandon Blackburn Dwyer, joining us from the United States. And with that, we come to the end of this special edition of Headline Buster, brought to you by The Point with me, Li Xin. I'll see you next Friday at the same time. Stay with us. Okay. So normally we have the live streaming is still going on.
Okay.
So normally
Okay,
I
fine.
read comments, but the comments are sometimes not very positive.
As it always are.
What
Bring
is
it on, I'm ready.
what can we do? That is special this time for our viewers who are still watching? They
Have
might
you seen Jonathan Pye?
Jonathan Pye.
He's a comedian in the UK. This is very much like Jonathan Pye.
Oh,
What is
really?
it?
He does this funny broadcast. It's like he's a what's the word? It's political comedy.
Satire.
It's political
Correct.
satire.
Yeah.
And he finds it really interesting about what happens when the camera gets turned off.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands there in front of the camera and goes, blah blah blah, Boris Johnson, blah blah blah. Oh, I am so tired of talking about Boris Johnson. This kind of thing. It's very funny.
I thought we were going to start swearing. I was like, oh, press that. Where's that swear jar?
But you know what I want? Because every time for me to be on this show, it's like being in a straitjacket, literally.
To not release yourself, right?
I'm on high heels. I have a jacket that's really kind of tight around the waist, especially sometimes I wonder whether I'm gaining weight. And I'm carrying, thank you, I'm carrying 2 little boxes behind my back.
And then my trousers are like literally falling off.
Yeah, so I can't.
Really?
I can't really, relax and it doesn't look good to sit like this. So I have to sit up. I have to, do it like this.
I was very conscious. I keep leaning over. I kept I think there were a couple of shots I caught myself on the camera there, sort of doing this.
Why? Because
my back. I'm so used to leaning over desks doing music production that when I'm having to sit without a backrest, I'm like.
Yeah, it's not very.
You were saying we're going to start dancing. We're going to start playing like the MV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stand up a little bit and just relax.
My trousers are going to fall off.
What happens? What happens?
Because of these 2 boxes.
These 2 boxes. See, that's
Hold on to my trousers.
Yeah, that's the off-camera
my
stuff.
piece is coming out now.
Doesn't
it's all
matter.
falling apart.
Yeah. See, imagine I have to keep that on all the time.
Yeah. How do you manage to do the sitting, standing thing without it falling out? It's like
it's skills.
It's skills.
Become a media challenger, and you'll get training from Liu Xing on how to keep all your equipment in check and in place.
This is a big part of being in the media.
Yeah.
Is to be able to live with all of these technicalities and still looking as if you were just on the beach.
Well, I kind of do look like I'm on the beach today.
You're dressed for the beach for sure.
I mean, with that kind of mindset, with that kind of mentality, it's tough. Yeah, when you go on a live broadcast, for instance, somebody probably just spilled coffee on you, and then someone else is screaming somewhere else, and then you're lying. You don't know whether it is on, and then whatever is happening. Maybe a guy is firing a shot somewhere.
Gosh,
and
we had that.
You have to.
Our DC
we had that on CGTN.
Yeah.
A reporter was doing live reporting, and someone was shooting. A shooting broke out. But anyway, so you have to.
It's a tough career.
Yeah, you have to take a deep breath and smile into the camera. Where's the camera? Smile into the camera and feel as if nothing has happened. You're just there in perfect, state of mind and physical.
Poise, smile.
There's no weird British guy here, so kind of
whereas inside you're sweating like hell. But anyway, that's the fun part of the job and the challenging part of the job.
Yeah.
I mean, now with like social media, it's a lot easier. It's now more formats.
Yeah,
and I think
it's more informal as well. Social media.
Exactly.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the future of traditional media's got to hold, because social media is so powerful now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are getting their news, especially from sort of independent news outlets, aren't they? So
it's a big challenge for us on TV. How do you stay alive?
Well, I think that's how Media Challenges came about as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because it's looking for those grassroots people who are doing makeup vlogs or whatever, and trying to think of a way to bring them into the traditional media world.
True.
Which is good.
That's what you kind of nurture it so that they can really just shine and just be themselves. Because a lot of people want to start, but there's always that scare between going on camera, like, oh, can I really do it? Is it someone going to support me? And I think this is why we had the Media Challenge to say that we have backing, like do what you want to do, create what you want to create, show us your passion, and then we'll provide you with a stage.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the final result. Who actually can win out, right?
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
invite
me
you
too.
for a reaction video so you get a sneak
Okay.
peek with some of these like
Let's
the
see.
quality is amazing.
I mean,
You're
I'm
gonna
glad.
invite me for a reaction video as well.
Yeah, we could.
I'd love to do a reaction video. Maybe we should do one together.
But after I watched it, I was like, I'm really glad I have a job right now because I wouldn't win in that competition,
it's so
competition
tough.
is
It's really
fierce.
tough.
You're good on camera.
right?
Yeah.
You are. You're good on camera. You're natural.
Cheers. We saw it on this time when you were reacting to the
Yeah, I
to the
just had
Times and
to.
Daily Mail report. Anyway, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful
It's been
and
lovely to be here.
relaxing.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
me.
It's
having
not too
us.
political, I hope.
No, no, definitely not.
Definitely not.
I don't do politics. Don't
You
invite
only
me
sing,
for politics.
right? Are you gonna sing for us?
Am I?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Can we get
Do you,
something?
want, do you want me to sing?
I mean, I'd love
What
to
do you want
hear
me to sing?
whatever you.
Can we get
Okay,
a sneak peek of your latest, your new release?
I'll sing my kind of theme song about my journey across China.
Oh,
It's called Journey. Where's the camera? There it is, right in front of me.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I've climbed the highest mountain, saw the valley from the sky, even sailed the Yangtze River from Chongqing to old Shanghai, just so all the sweet adventures of my life won't pass me by. Take a journey through the country where a dragon's lurk inside. There you go.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, I wish I could do that. No. All right, signing off. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.